Hi guys, it's Max again. I'm gonna do another quick little video for you guys today, just talking about how we can start kind of reframing our minds and looking at every day with a little bit more intent, a little bit more purpose to increase our motivation and keep our eyes set on the goals that we have, whether that's school, synchro, or whatever that is for you. Okay, so obviously it's a tough time, everything that we thought we were expecting for this year or for this next month or whatever is kind of starting to change. So, as difficult as it is, we need to start readjusting our minds and accepting and starting to understand where this is going a little bit more. So, obviously, we all wish we were going to qualifiers today, but now we have the opportunity to learn and understand all these other things that we're capable of doing with this time that we have. So it's going to make more sense what I just said as I go on, just because that might be a little bit confusing. But first thing we have to start doing is looking at this situation as an opportunity to grow in different ways than we would have been able to had we been in Ontario this week. Okay, so the first thing that I would say is I'm sure you all have had a nice long week of relaxing and sleeping in and doing all that chill stuff, but you need to start looking at developing a routine that works for you. And for each one of you, that's going to be something different. No two people will have the exact same way that they approach their day, but developing that will start to give you a bit more motivation, a bit more like reasoning on why you're getting out of bed in the morning to go do things, right? So thinking back and reflecting a little bit on your days, like outside of swimming and school, like the normal, what you're used to, you have to start looking at your most productive hours, your least productive hours, and the hours that you need for yourself to relax. Okay, so like for me, example, my most productive hours are in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. So I know that that's when I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do work for swimming, and I'm going to try and get as much homework or meetings done as possible. My least productive hours are from like 2 to about 4, 2 to 5, depending on that. So I know that I'm not going to get any work done in those hours. So I just block up that time and I make sure that I don't do any work, because even if I try to, it wouldn't be that well done. Okay, so if you can start figuring out the times of your day, maybe you start playing with it. You try doing work in the morning or work in the afternoon, or whatever it is, schoolwork, I mean. And then you kind of see how that works for you. And then you develop a system of when you can do the most work, the most productive work, because that's the most important thing. Whether that's synchro work, schoolwork, housework, whatever you end up doing, just figuring out the schedule that works best for you, because that'll be really beneficial for you. You'll feel more motivated to your work because you know you're getting stuff done. You'll feel like you're making progress on that work, and you'll feel like you have a bit more intent and more drive to actually go and do it because you know you're going to get stuff done. Okay? And yeah, just because things are different doesn't mean we can't be productive in other ways. So yes, we're not swimming full routines this week, but we can still benefit our progression in sport, our synchro skills, by doing more flex, by doing more visualization, by doing full land drills, by thinking about the corrections that we have and actively trying to fix them. So if we need to get more hip engagement, doing some exercises that engage your hips more so you get stronger glutes, or doing exercises for your shoulders that make them more flexible so you can get that range in your arch positions. Whatever it is for you, we have that time now where we can go and attack those specific things that we need to work on. Okay? And then in all of this, we have to approach it with the proper mindset. Okay? So there's a huge kind of article and research around the mindset that we approach situations. And so even when you guys are training normal hours, the way that you approach how you train is going to impact the efficacy and how productive your training is, right? So two things, it's the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. You guys might have heard these already, but we're just going to talk about them again. Fixed mindset kind of talks about how you approach situations with the learning that you have. Like you think that this is who I am, this is what I know, and that's it. Like no learning is going to happen. Like if I fail, that's just the way it is. Or if I succeed, that's just the way it is. Like where I am now is I've plateaued, I'm at this spot. But then there's the growth mindset, which takes all these situations, all these ups and downs, and all these new experiences that we are given every single day to learn and to grow from in order to continue taking steps up. So obviously the situation that we're in right now is a huge hurdle that we can either choose to fall under, stop at, and not overcome, or we can choose to kind of frame our minds and reshape our realities in a positive learning environment, right? So just because the situation is not what we expected or what we want or what we anticipated doesn't mean that we still can't be productive and still grow and learn from this experience. Okay? Like, our improvement in our synchro skills does not have to stall or decline just because we're not training in the water as much anymore, right? There are so many other things that we can do that will help us improve in the water. Even if it's small, every little bit counts, right? Like, if we're doing flex every single day, that's going to transfer into more flexibility when we get back in the water. If we're doing strength every single day, that's going to translate into stronger muscles so you can hold your position, so you have a tighter core, so you're more solid in your positions, right? So as long as we kind of take this opportunity to use this time that we have in a productive way, it will benefit us in the long run, okay? So you have to look at each day as a new challenge, a new opportunity for you to take one step up or one peg up in your progression as a person, as an athlete, as whatever. And this can be applied for school as well, right? Guys, like, you have all these tools that can be transferred over in whatever you're kind of doing. But how we look at it, how the mindset and the intent that we approach each day with is going to impact how that day goes on, right? And what you get done in that day. So I'm not saying that we all need to be like from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. doing all this work. It's just like finding that routine that I talked about. Find your hours that you are productive in and find a routine that works best for you, and then go with that. And that's kind of the nice thing about this time off, is that you guys actually have the opportunity to try it out, to be your own guinea pig and test out all these different things to find out what works best for you. Like, if you find getting up early and starting your work and doing all your things in the morning is the best for you, that's great and that's good. And then you found your system and you do that. But for some of you, waking up later and sleeping in and getting a good full long night's rest and being more productive later in the day is the way that you get your things done. And that's great as well. Okay, so there's no right or wrong answer to that, but it's just about finding that system, approaching that system with the right kind of attitude and mindset, and then using that to think about what you want to accomplish. Okay, because all of you guys have goals. All of you guys have dreams that you want to succeed and achieve during the sport, right? That doesn't need to stop. That's great. You can still have those goals, and what you do here will benefit that in the long run, right? You'll start to develop habits on how you do your flex. You'll start to develop habits on your technique and strength. Like, all these things will come together if you keep at them. I promise, okay? So as long as you guys just keep grinding it out and keep pushing yourselves a little bit harder than the day before, you will get it soon, okay? A really good way that I like to keep myself accountable, this might work for you, but I like to write things down. So I always have a little notepad and I write down my goals for the day and I put it up on my laptop or like on my screen or on my window, whatever I'm doing. And I start with really small things, like check my email, check, done, you know? And then I move on to the next thing and the next thing. And for you guys, when you're doing flex, like, put your list of the things you want to get done for your synchro skills of the day. Okay, so like doing my flex routine, done. Doing my warm-up, done. Doing my cardio, done. Little things, and then you'll feel more progressive. And then as you're crossing them out, think about like, okay, like, that was a really good flex session. Like, what did I like about that? What did I need to improve for tomorrow? Like, XYZ. Like, always just be actively engaged in what you're doing and approach it with the right attitude so that the next day you can take another step up, okay? So, it's one thing at a time, one day at a time. That's how we're gonna have to go with this, because so much is still up in the air. But if you guys just really try and push yourselves and keep challenging yourselves in every aspect of your life and every little day, every day something a little bit more, you will start to see the progressions, and even though it's not what we want, it's our reality now. So it's kind of our jobs as coaches and as athletes to adjust to this and then to keep on rolling with it. Okay? So peace out, everyone. Have a good Sunday.